Yeah, initially I think there was some trepidation. I think for anybody, and especially the nursing staff, they're very territorial, but they've adjusted well. They've developed relationships with some of the scribes, and it's made it for a good working relationship. So I think overall it's been a very positive experience with the nursing staff.
It was interesting. Initially, there might have been a little bit of resistance, and once we were aware of that and very clear on it, and we can show examples where the scribes can be assets to them as well. Whether it's something as small as getting a blanket or a glass of ice water for a patient, they're very collaborative. They're stepping up and they try to help whoever it might be. If a nurse asks, "Hey, can you print out a consent for blood transfusion or something like that?" and the scribe will perch up and say, "Hey, yeah, I'll help." And so that really went a long way to breaking down those barriers, and now they're pretty big fans of the scribes as well as the docs.
We've been using them now for 5 years, so it's more as an interactive team. There's never been any problems with them being in the way. It's just it's a smooth part of our workplace.
So far, the nurses and secretaries, in responding to how they work with the scribes, have been essentially more curious than anything. They're really learning about it, but they've been very receptive to having them in the department.
They have acclimated quite well, although they were somewhat hesitant at first. They have developed a relationship with the scribes that is positive and improves the team effort that we all are involved with in the delivery of healthcare in our busy emergency department.
Very positive. They know that we can spend more time with the patients, and the nurses perceive that as a very good thing because we're in the room more with them and the patients.
Our nurses and secretaries love working with our scribes because they're an extra set of hands. So sometimes with computer order entry, there's a disconnect between providers and the nurses. What our scribes will do is go and update the nurse that the orders has been ordered. They're a great communication tool between a liaison between the nurses and the docs.
They love scribes. So our support staff in the emergency department love scribes. They love the fact that they have someone else to act as a liaison or a go-between with the doctor. They find the physician is much more approachable and also helps improve throughput for the ED. So the staff love the fact that the patients are being seen more quickly, more efficiently, and it reduces their work.
My nurses and secretaries really enjoy having the scribes around. It helps them out and helps the physicians out. But they field a lot of questions and things that when I might not be available to tell them something or pass something on to them, which really helps.
The secretaries love it because it's less work for them because the scribes are handling a lot of the secretarial tasks. And the nurses like it as well because it's if they can't get a hold of you, they can get a hold of the scribe sometimes to help communicate certain things and coordinate certain things. So and the scribes unload a little bit of the burden off the nurses as well, like getting drinks for the patients and blankets and things like that, and it just makes the whole thing a lot nicer for everybody.
I think for the most part, nurses and secretaries and the staff in the ED enjoy working with the scribes and get to know the scribes, and generally scribes enjoy working with everybody in the department.
The nurses and secretaries think it's very neat. A lot of them are people wishing to go to medical school. They're very involved, very energetic, and they definitely add to the team.
Everyone loves them. We have, across the board, it has been a big boon and an adjunct for our efficiency, our productivity. It makes everybody's job easier when all of the doctors are happy, and you know, the scribes have been extremely helpful. The working relationship on a one-on-one basis has been outstanding. We know them each individually and personally, and you know, enjoy working with all of them.
You know, initially with any change, there can be some confusion and some, you know, getting used to the change. ScribeAmerica helped me to roll out the program and to really inform and involve the rest of the staff in the rollout of the scribes. And initially there was, I would say, a small amount of tension, which was quickly resolved with just some communication and some help from ScribeAmerica. And now the nurses, they want scribes themselves.
Pretty good, pretty good. Initially, you know, there's always a, you know, period of time where they have to get comfortable with them, you know, but now they're viewed as an integral part of the team, and they interact with the nurses and the unit secretaries, you know, really well, I think, now, because they see them as an extension of the physician. And so, you know, early on, you know, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once they get used to it, it's been great. So we haven't had any major issues from that standpoint.
They seem to really like them. I think they feel like it is an extra person to help with communication between the doctors and the nurses. And most of our scribes are students who are going to go on to be nurses or PAs, and so the nurses enjoy having them around because the students are pretty interested in learning what's going on in the ER as well as doing their job as scribes.